Hey everybody, welcome back. If you are listening to those acoustic guitar notes underneath beautiful piano notes, that can only mean one thing.
It's time for another episode of the Mannschrecks, a commentary on Christian life and culture from a pastor's wife and her sidekick.
That's me.
I'm your best host, Sarah Mannschreck.
And I'm that other one, JJ Mannschreck. All right, how you doing this week?
I'm good. I'm tired.
It's been a week. Our annual conference really burns us out. You know, it's quite a bit. All right, you ready to approach the news desk?
I am so excited to hear these stories.
Me too. Okay, excellent. These are really great stories. And so the first one is, so I have to ask you a question to sort of get us started. Is if you were to lose an animal from the zoo, how do I phrase this? If I told you I needed to use 100 chickens and 1,000 drones to find something that got out of a zoo, what animal would you guess that it was?
100 chickens and 1,000 drones? Oh my gosh. Is it some sort of predatory animal?
Yeah, all right. So leopards.
Oh my.
Got out of a zoo in China. All right,
oh my gosh.
I love the intro to this article. This is very good. It says, when residents of the eastern Chinese city of Hangzhou were recently given strict orders to remain indoors, the news actually had nothing to do with the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Instead, there was a much different kind of threat facing the locals. 3 leopards had escaped from Hangzhou Safari Park, and they had been roaming around freely for weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Now, here's where it gets crazy. Those leopards got out a couple weeks before Memorial Day, right? But the zoo officials covered it up so that it would not negatively affect
tourism.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so awful.
They lied because police were getting reports of like, hey, there are leopards around. And they went and asked the safari park, and the safari park manager person was like, tell them to cover it up. Like they were under instructions.
Oh yes, 5 tourists were killed and eaten by wild leopard by these leopards roaming around, and what?
Oh my gosh! The according to The Guardian, the terrifying lapse in security and park management occurred on April 19th, 2021. It did not take long for locals to spot the dangerous predators skulking about the hillsides and sprinting across town. The zoo officials denied involvement for weeks. Because they didn't want to damage ticket sales during their China's 5-day Labor Day holiday, which was beginning at the beginning of the month. Okay, so 3 leopards got out. Okay, the first one was there was a hushed scramble to recapture the 3 big cats immediately, with workers succeeding to catch the first leopard within 48 hours.
Okay.
They found one. They shot it with a tranquilizer dart. They brought it in. You know, it's like success. You know, we got one of them, but 3 of them got out.
Oh my gosh.
Then they found and they caught the second leopard under more violent circumstances.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. They used dogs to capture it, and the dogs attacked the leopard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and there's video of it, and footage of that incident was released, and it showed injury to the leopard's hind leg, which fanned public outrage even more than the news of the cover-up. The 3rd leopard is still out there.
They still haven't caught it?
Leopard tracks have been discovered near mountain villages, warned a mass text to the locals. Police are searching. Everyone, please securely close doors and windows and do not go out.
Oh my gosh.
It was just
horrifying.
The search for the 3rd leopard, this is my favorite part of the story, has since escalated to massive proportions, with 100 chickens being deployed as bait.
My God.
What?
Who's sacrificing their chicken? Yeah, I'll donate 5 chickens to the cause.
Yeah, everybody chip in 5 chickens and we'll gather up 100 chickens to pull out the leopard.
Oh my gosh.
That's
horrifying.
And they used 990 drones, including a powered parachute vehicle operated by a pilot searching from above. They enlisted the aid of 1,700 personnel, tracker dogs, infrared motion sensors, and night vision tools. Searchers appear no closer to capturing the 3rd big cat.
Oh my gosh!
It's insane.
How? Oh wow!
I just thought that was fascinating. I guess I've never considered the fact that like, oh yeah, sometimes animals get out of their cages. Like if you like the zoos that we go to, do you think they have animals that escape?
They do, but I feel like I've heard stories of them being like pretty quickly captured.
Well, and I personally, I'm mad about the whole, it's like they have a responsibility to tell people.
Yes, they absolutely do.
Hey guys, you might see a lion rolling down those streets.
I can't believe that they pled with officials to cover up this whole thing.
Yeah, to not hurt tourism sales. It's like, guys, you're talking about like
That's
endangering people's lives.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, yeah. But then the second thought, so first it's like tranquilizer darts and then search dogs, and that didn't go so well. The leopard got hurt, so it's like,
now
how about chickens? Let's get
Clearly the chickens aren't working.
Well, and I don't know, do leopards eat chickens? I'm
sure they eat any
guess
kind
that
of
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Officials are hoping that the chickens will draw the hungry animal in, and they placed infrared sensors near the bodies of water to catch the leopards during moments of thirst. From the air, hundreds of drones traverse the nearby mountains where the leopard is thought to be hiding. This truly is the modern world, where we're deploying drones to find our missing leopard.
Do they not have like some sort of tag or tracker on these
That
things?
would make sense. Yeah,
Like,
I guess I didn't think of that.
Don't they usually do that at zoos? Don't they usually have like a tag or a tracker?
I mean, if we
or
do it
something?
for our animals that we keep in our house, right? Ooh, do you remember the dog story where the dog broke into that couple's house? What if a leopard like broke into your house and was cuddling up in your
Yeah,
bed?
that's not gonna happen. Cuddling up with your corpse, maybe. That's horrifying.
Security guards are now posted around the search zone, and people have been told to stay out of the woods. But for weeks after the initial escape, resident and zoo visitors had no idea that they were at risk. Not cool, guys. Two dangerous predators were on the loose for weeks, and nobody knew.
If this were the United States, there would be a huge lawsuit, and that place would be shut down.
Absolutely, yeah, big time lawsuits. You can't put people at danger like that.
No.
Zoologists believe the chance of an attack on humans is rare, but not impossible.
No.
The big concern right now is that the leopard might be starving to death.
Oh, sure.
Born and raised in captivity.
It doesn't necessarily know how to.
It has no idea. Yeah. It said a senior expert with the Chinese Academy of Science said as the third leopard gets increasingly desperate for food, it may become more agitated and more likely to take risks. A statement from Hangzhou Fuyang district government told locals that if they do come face to face with a leopard. Oh, and this is your instruction manual for how to get away from a leopard. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
You can raise both hands up and stand quietly or slowly back away. Do not turn around and run.
Isn't that also the way you're supposed to do if you see a bear?
Bears or lions or zebras or tigers or, like, what wouldn't you walk upon if they're escaping from the zoos, Like,
That's
crazy.
Just bizarre.
I thought that was so fascinating.
That is bizarre.
Chickens and drones, and I mean, that's a quality story right there. All right, are you ready for the second story?
I'm very ready.
This is possibly the greatest feel-good story I have ever read in my entire life.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. Gerda Cole was an 18 years old when she left her newborn daughter in the care of another family. She was a destitute World War II refugee. She was a Jewish person living in Austria. She was born in Austria. When she was 18 years old, she was pregnant. Her husband or the father of the child or whatever had been taken away.
Oh.
Off to concentration camps or whatever.
Yeah.
Her parents, I think her mom got away, but her dad was killed.
Okay.
So she fled to England and put her daughter up for adoption.
Okay.
And a German couple in England took her daughter when she was 18 years old. On Cole's 98th birthday, 80 years later, she and her daughter reunited.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
79-year-old Sana Grist is the daughter.
Yeah.
She thought her mother was long dead. She had no idea her mom was alive.
Wow. Incredible.
She learned otherwise when her son, Stephen Grist, traced his lineage. So the grandson,
Of course.
living in England, and he's like, what's my background, And he's like asking his mom, and I was adopted. So then he wanted to look for to go further back. And so he found his long-lost grandmother, and they reunited at the Rivera Kennedy Lodge long-term care home in Toronto, Canada.
Wow.
80
That's
years.
crazy.
79-year-old woman who thought, oh, my mom died. She'd put me up for adoption.
Well, of course, if you never did any sort of research into it.
And at that time,
it's so
an
far
Austrian
away
Jewish person dying was pretty likely, you know?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
May 7th, 2022. The celebratory occasion coincided with Mother's Day weekend.
Oh
And
my
so,
gosh.
isn't that right?
That is so sweet.
Saw the care home throwing a heartwarming party. Cole and her daughter tearfully shared lifelong memories, from global conflicts and marriages to grandchildren and adventures. Mother and daughter have only just begun to catch up.
And Mom is 98?
Mom is 90. She was 18 when she had the baby. So daughter's 79 and she's 98 years old. They tell the story. So Gerda Cole was a teenager when she fled German-annexed Austria in 1939. She arrived in England as part of the Kindertransport, which brought Jewish miners across Europe to Allied territories. Her mother managed to survive the war while the Nazis murdered her father. As an only child, she tried hard to assimilate. Pregnant 18-year-old, and it doesn't say, but it sounds like maybe unmarried, you know, or the father of the child wasn't there to help. She was unemployed with few prospect when she delivered Sonia in 1942. She was heartbroken to place her up for adoption, but felt she would have a better life with a German family in England that she left her with. While Cole agreed to stay out of their affairs, she couldn't help but think of Sonia and wonder.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Cole thought about contacting Sonia for years, but worried about the emotional devastation that it could cause, she wondered if Sonia even wanted to be found. Forging ahead, so this 98-year-old woman, she lived her life working for Burger King as an accountant, and she spent a lot of her life volunteering at archaeological digs in Israel and Cyprus. This Austrian Jewish woman who escaped spent her life doing archaeology.
Wow, why not?
She was passionate archaeologist. Stephen Grist, the grandson, was mulling over his decision to leave England when he started tracing his roots. He learned his grandparents' name from his mother's birth certificate and used genealogical services websites, hoping to find a claim to his European citizenship. However, for that, he needed Cole's death certificate. He learned that his grandmother had been married a lot, eventually contacting somebody on Facebook who he believed was one of Cole's stepsons. It was only when he asked the man for a copy of Cole's death certificate that the truth came spilling out. "Oh, you won't find her death certificate," the man said, "because she's still alive."
Wow.
So it's a combination of like those DNA services,
Yep.
right? The Ancestry.com or whatever, and social media working together to piece the story.
That's so crazy.
That's amazing to me.
That is actually really cool.
You won't find the death certificate.
She's still living.
Because she's still going. Stephen Grist was shocked because he had never once considered the notion, and he knew his mother would be overwhelmed. He waited 2 weeks till Mother's Day to tell her. And when Stephen contacted Coles in hope of reuniting, Coles was initially hesitant. "It's a big piece of information," Stephen Grist said. It took some time for Gerda to come around to seeing that this incident in her past had come back to her. Sonia Grist, who spent her entire life in England working as a tour guide, so this is the daughter, worked in England as a tour guide, said she completely understood why she gave me up and bore no malice, no grudges, no nothing. And then they agreed on the reuniting. The Grists left London, came to Toronto on May 6th, meeting Cole for her 98th birthday party the next day. So she's in a nursing care facility at 98 years old, and her daughter just comes out of nowhere.
Wow.
After 80. That's the longest reunion I have ever heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of that type of... Yeah, usually it's like mom in her 50s or parents in their 60s and, oh, yeah, we found the daughter that, but...
Yeah,
that's
well...
crazy. Her child. Wow.
And I mean, like, I mean, even in my family, we have stories of reuniting. My grandparents are German, and so my great-grandparents. And they were separated during the war for just a few years, and they reunited at Ellis Island. And I remember the pictures of that were like, those were a big deal in my family, like to have the pictures of my great-grandparents and my grandparents reuniting on Ellis Island. But they were only apart for like 5 years during the war. But to be apart for 80 years, assuming...
Yeah, that's significant. And assume that it was just a long lost, it is what it is. That's crazy.
Yeah, I loved that.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
All right. So now it is time for a brand new segment that we made up called Clever or Cringe. And so what we're going to do is I will bring, this is going to be a recurring segment where I'm going to bring Christian stuff, probably, from like social media or different things, Christian things that are out in the culture, and you get to vote whether it's clever or if it's Christian cringe. Because a lot of the stuff put out in the world that has the Christian label that they, slap a cross on it and they say, this is Christian.
Might be a little bit troubling.
A lot of it can be very cringy and painful and make you go, ugh.
Okay, I'm ready.
So today I have brought you a list of the 50 best church signs.
Okay.
Now, some of these I'm just going to skip because they're so bad. But I think some of them might be worth a clever label. So it's clever or cringe, and you get to vote. All right. So the first one, this is St. Mark's Anglican Church, and their sign says Adam and Eve, the first people to not read the Apple terms and conditions.
Oh.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, that is cute.
Is it clever or cringe?
That is clever.
Is it a little clever? All right, good. We're start off to a good... this one, I love this. This is maybe overdone. Holy Trinity Roman Catholic Church, their sign says, too hot to keep changing sign. Sin bad, Jesus good, details inside.
I've seen that one too many times.
It's too overused.
It's overdone.
So
it's a little cringy.
We're getting a cringe vote on that one. Valid. Knox Presbyterian Church. It just says, this is their sign. It says, it's got snow all around it, so it's clearly a winter picture. It says, if you're praying for snow, please stop.
That's a little cringy. It's not really that clever.
Not that clever. I enjoy it. All right, this is a Baptist church. I scrolled past the title, but it says, the fact that there's a highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven says a lot about anticipated traffic numbers.
Ooh, a little holier than thou.
A little judgy.
Okay, a little
the
judgy.
Sign. Is that an upvote or a downvote?
Downvote.
Cringe. All right. I like this one. This is it says Clays Mill Road Baptist Church. Okay. Whoever stole our AC units, keep one. It's hot where you're going.
Oh. Oh, okay. That's a little cringy.
It made me chuckle, but you're absolutely right. It's like, oh, okay, then.
Well, I won't be going to that church.
All right. So this one's Wesley Chapel United Methodist Church. Hey, there you go, Methodist Church. It says, be the kind of person your pet thinks you are. Clever or cringe? It's
a little cringy.
It is, yeah.
I think. But I'm realizing this. I'm a little judgy.
We're a little cynical, yeah.
I'm a little cynical.
Having grown up in the Christian world, though, and seen this kind of stuff everywhere all the time, both you and I, it doesn't have the effect. I'm always curious of but how do non-Christians feel about our goofiness? Because I feel like it's so ridiculous. All right, this one might be another one that we've seen too often. Maybe it was clever the first time.
Okay.
It's this is a Church of God. It says, honk if you love Jesus, text while driving if you want to meet him.
It makes me laugh, but it's a terrible sign.
Well, and a little it does make me laugh, but at the same time, texting and driving results in people dying. It's probably not something you should make
light of.
Jokes probably not good.
Nah, it's a little insensitive.
All right, now this one, it's a sign, and it's a church sign. But I've seen this on a t-shirt as well.
Okay.
And it's very punny. This could almost be our mom joke right here. It says, catch up with Jesus. Let us praise and relish him, because he loves me from my head to my toes.
Oh, that's painful. That is just painful. Oh, is that an invitation to the church barbecue that weekend?
Yep. Just good old-fashioned condiment, burger condiment puns.
Whew. Yeah, that's
pretty bad. All right, cringe. We're getting a lot of cringe in this.
It's a little cringy, yeah.
All right, from Central Baptist Church, it says, forgive your enemies. It messes with their heads. You guys can't hear it, but you have to see her face right now. She's making a big face.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because that's why we forgive
someone.
Yep,
that's why we forgive people, to be vengeful and destroy their brains. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, from Knox Presbyterian Church, God expects spiritual fruit, not religious nuts. Ooh, we gotta laugh.
I like
we gotta
that one.
laugh.
That's pretty clever.
That might be a Christian clever, not a Christian cringe.
Religious nuts.
Just a reminder, everybody,
man,
these are
that's funny.
actual signs that people put out in public in their church. Oh, this was bad. It says, with all this rain, we need an ark. Fear not. And then it literally has parentheses, wait for it, ... We know a guy.
Some jokes are only meant to be received verbally. They don't hit the same
When
as
you
a
write
sign.
it out.
So
I know a guy who made an ark.
That's just bad. That's not.
Knox Presbyterian Church. Cremation is your last chance for a smoking hot body.
This is a church?
It's on top of a church.
Not a funeral home?
Okay. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this is perfect for a funeral home and crematorium.
I mean, it's really insensitive, but it's really funny. And, boy.
Yeah.
Did they fire the person who put that on the sign?
This one, okay. Now this one, they're just not even trying to do a religious thing. This is just a joke. Like they just like took a pun. They stole from your mom joke of the list.
Oh dear.
Okay. First Baptist Church in America. That's what it says. That's the
really
name of
what
the
it's
church.
called.
The First Baptist Church in America.
Huh.
Oh, I bet that's like a claim to fame. I bet it's over on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The First Baptist Church in America. It says, a sheep, a snake, and a drum fall off a cliff. But,
God.
like somebody put that, like a letterboard guy went out there and said, I'm doing the Lord's work today.
What?
I'm going to put this pun
Thank
out.
you, Jesus, for this really bad joke that I'm about to put on the sign. Ooh, that's bad.
First off, I want to just express my jealousy for the greatest church name I've ever seen.
dear.
Okay? This is the First Church of Awesome Works. What is that? The First Church of Awesome Works.
And praise be to God for his awesome works, you know. Awesome.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's our awesome works, and that's not good.
Oh, that's bad.
Their
Did you hear
website
about our pastor? He does awesome work.
at the bottom of the sign, their website is generallyawesome.com, which I will be checking out as soon as we're done recording tonight.
It's probably not real.
Yeah, that's true. It could be a fake sign. So the sign says, "How do we make holy water? We boil the hell out of it."
I've seen that one before. Oh my gosh, that's painful.
This one says, "Noah was a brave man to sail in a wood boat with 2 termites."
On a sign? Oh boy.
Right.
They're getting lazy.
First Moravian Church, their sign said, "God didn't create anything without a purpose, but mosquitoes come pretty close."
So somebody got a vendetta against mosquitoes,
Yeah,
I
we're
guess.
just kind of hating on the bugs here. Oh, I like this one. Genesis 1:3, teenager version. And God said, "Let there be light," and it was lit.
Okay, that's clever. I like
Clever,
that.
not cringe. Oh.
Boy.
All right, this I can't read what that says. The sign is kind of blurred, but it's a Baptist church, like General Baptist Church. I can't read it, but it says, "No, it's not hot as hell."
That's all it says.
Yep. This it's just Zion Lutheran Church. Satan called. He wants his weather back. I feel like we get a lot
There's a lot of hell jokes in here.
a lot of complaining about the weather. Right?
Yeah. So what I'm gathering is the sign doesn't really have any biblical value or anything that's going to point people to the church. It's mostly just a complaint card that people are putting outside.
I do feel like we've kind of missed the ball because our church sign like publicizes
informative.
events of the church.
Yeah, boy.
Like
we
a
really
fool.
missed a
We could have
key
been putting these
opportunity
jokes
here.
out. This one says, "Jesus is watching, but the police have radar."
What?
All right, this one is painful. It just says Emmanuel Church. It doesn't say what kind.
Okay.
But it says, "What's missing from," and then it has CH space CH. And then at the bottom it says, "You are."
Oh.
Cringe. Oh, it's so groan worthy.
Ooh.
All right, this one I like. This is not a church sign, but it is a sign above the urinal in the men's bathroom, and it's 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. "Finally, brothers, aim for perfection." And aim is in huge letters.
Oh, that is just bad. That's bad.
Bringing it in with the toilet humor.
Oh, man.
Just ridiculous.
Cringe. Lots of cringy.
Yeah.
So far, I'm seeing lots of cringe, very little.
All right, I like this one. This is Creek Baptist Church. Having trouble sleeping? Try one of our sermons.
Yeah, actually, we should put that on the church sign next week.
Aw. Yeah, that actually would be good. All right, what on earth? This is Living Proof Church. And it's... The sign says, I find your lack of faith disturbing. And then they give credit, Darth Vader.
Because no one knows who said that. Wow.
It's just,
wow.
They put the quote up from Darth Vader.
I have a lot of questions about that church.
Church of Christ in Katy, Iglesia de Cristo. Their sign says, sin is a short word with a long sentence.
Ooh, I like that.
Is that clever? That's clever?
Like that.
All right. It was almost
I like
cringe.
That. Yeah, it is almost cringe. It's a little too clever. It's like a little too... But I like it. I do.
Yeah,
That's fun.
It makes you think a little.
It does.
Yeah, I like that. This one says, God gave us mouths that close and ears that don't. And that may tell us something.
I like that.
The head scratchers get clever points.
Mm-hmm.
These other ones, though. Church of the Valley sign says, don't make me come down there. God. They're quoting God. Don't make me come down there. I feel like God coming down here resulted in maybe the greatest news the world has ever
that would kind of work out well for humanity, honestly.
Oh boy. Full Gospel Church under the same management for 2,000 years.
Oh, come on. That's painful. Cringe. Very
cringe. That's a vote down. This I don't understand this one. This is just straight up a spoiler on a sign. It says, this is First Baptist Church with Reverend Jonathan Singer as the pastor. Severus Snape was the hero.
Wait.
That's it.
The sign?
On a church sign, they put Severus Snape was the hero. First of all, hello, spoiler alert for all those Harry Potter fans out there.
But also, like, what does that have to do with the Bible
what
or
does that
church
have to do with...
or anything about religion?
I'm baffled. I'm gonna not even cringe. That one gets a straight up down vote.
Is it a metaphor? I failed to see the connection.
You're trying too hard.
I really am trying. I guess I'm trying to see the redemptive quality of this sign, but there's nothing there.
Doesn't exist. All right, Trinity Presbyterian Church. God shows no favoritism, but the sign guy does. Go Canucks.
Cringe.
Oh, all right. Here's the last one. I mean, there's more, but I'll cut it off here because we could go all day.
Okay.
Saint Mary, Our Lady, Queen of Families, which is an interesting name of a church there. But anyways, we are not Dairy Queen, but we have great Sundays.
Oh. If this segment was called Worst Puns Ever.
Worst puns ever.
Oh,
Clever
boy.
or cringe?
That's cringy.
That's very cringy.
That's so
my
cringy.
gosh. Oh, all right.
Wow.
There's so much cringe out there in the world.
Yep.
I feel like this will be a recurring moment. I could bring you so much, and we got to cut it off.
You could.
All right. So, you ready for some sponsors?
Yeah.
You can be.
I can.
Time for sponsor of our life. You know what? Honestly, I am going to say that the sponsor of my life lately has been some Tim Keller sermons. For those who don't know, Tim Keller was a pastor of a Presbyterian church in New York. He's very intellectual, and he managed to build a mega church of young intellectuals in New York City because he just has such a winsome way about him. He's very smart, and he just loves Jesus so much. And I grow closer to God and closer to Jesus every time I hear his sermons. And so you can like purchase a thumb drive with all of his sermons, like 30 or 40 years worth of sermons on it, but they're also available in podcast format. There's a program or a nonprofit called The Gospel in Life. And, they have a podcast and they post like 2 or 3 Tim Keller sermons a week. And they're just amazing. And I was listening to it while I was mowing the lawn the other day and I come to
you
you gushing.
Had a couple groundbreaking moments where you
Anytime he pulls some stuff out I've never seen before, and it always makes me love God more. It's like, oh, I didn't even know that about how amazing God is. And yeah, it definitely, that's a sponsor of my life right now. So the Tim Keller Sermons and the Gospel in Life podcast. That's good stuff.
Awesome. Mine is not quite as groundbreaking and exciting, but I will say we just got back from being, on that trip up north, and you were gone a lot, so I was with the kids by myself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And having this little one is difficult when I don't have my hands free. So I'm going to be super generic and just say that my ring sling that I use for Asher has probably been my most handy thing lately, because I don't have time to wrap up a boba wrap or clip on my ergo because I'm super lazy, but it is so much easier to just swing on a sling and put the baby in it.
We can't let you get away with saying that you are super lazy. You single-handedly single-parented 4 babies at the same time.
Well, and it's nice to have hands free for that. Yeah. So yeah, that being able to just say, oh sure, let's go for a walk, and I'll just wear the baby because we didn't have room in the car for a stroller was pretty nice. So yeah, I'll say that that ring sling coming in clutch all the time. So.
Yeah, it's a very simple technology, and I had never heard of it or paid attention to it, but man, they're awesome. Those
really
slings.
They are super super handy. So
sponsor, that's a good sponsor of your life. All right. So to close us out today, I have to bring us back to another segment of Midwest Moments. If you remember, this is a moment where we talk about the cultural values of the Midwest, both of us being very Michigan people.
Yes.
And so we noticed one this past week, and I want to talk about it a little bit because Midwest people are ridiculous. And we are laughing at ourselves here, right? I'm not criticizing others. We are ridiculous. Mm-hmm. All right, so this time I want to talk about eating food in other people's homes when you are house sitting or dog sitting or borrowing their cottage for a vacation. Mm-hmm. Right? Those are kind of the big things. And so for example, we had to go to a conference this past week. I had to go to the conference, so we all went up. My aunt and uncle have a cottage up in Gaylord, and we went up there, and it was going to be really awesome. And they clearly purchased food for us. They stocked the cupboards, and they said, oh, eat anything you want. Meanwhile, at the same time, we left our dogs in the care of a teenager from our church. And we said, eat whatever you want in the fridge. And we absolutely mean it. We would not be sad or mad at all if somebody ate our food. That's we said it was fine, of course. Yep. Yet we cannot bring ourselves to eat the food in someone else's home. Mm-hmm. It's just...
I went grocery shopping because I felt so guilty. Eat the food that's in that. No, I can't do that. Although my 5-year-old had no problem eating those Pop-Tarts that he found in the cupboard, so...
I think
that's just because I won't buy Pop-Tarts. Someone else bought food? Oh, I can eat this.
Well, and there was a smorgasbord of Pop-Tarts, and that kid was on cloud 9. He was so excited because we don't have Pop-Tarts very often, so...
Yeah, but absolutely. I won't. Yeah, I always feel guilty taking other people's food.
It's such a Midwest cultural value. We just cannot bring ourselves. I remember dating back to so when I was in high school, I dog sat for someone. And they told me the exact same thing. They were like, oh, eat anything you want in the fridge. And they were gone for 2 weeks. And I was basically living at their house, right? Because they had a puppy. And so I needed to let the dog out every 2 hours or whatever during the day. And so... because they were still training the dog. So I took this little puppy, so cute, but I was in their house a lot, and they were like, eat anything you want. And they filled their freezer with junk food for a teenage boy.
Wow.
And yet I felt it was actually a progression, right? On the first day I was like, no, I'm not going to eat anything. And the second day I was like, well, I'll eat one thing, but I promise I'm going to restock it. Right. And then the third day I was like, well, maybe I will eat all
I have a hard time believing that you would be like, no, I'm not going to eat anything. No,
I did end up.
Guilt.
But it just, I don't know.
I used to do the same thing when I would babysit. People would, have me babysit their kids. And I babysat a lot. And they always said, help yourself to whatever you want. Help yourself to any of the food or snacks or whatever. I felt guilty eating the food with the kids at dinner time. I just, no, it's okay. I ate before I came. No, it's okay. I brought my own snacks. But, yeah, I get it.
There is just something about hospitality. And it's not even hospitality. It's a willingness to offer but an inability to accept.
Yep.
That's the Midwest cultural value. It's just like we are so, and we genuinely mean it. Of course you can eat my stuff, or I made you something, or
Absolutely.
I'm happy. But we assume nobody else is like us, right? Like, oh no, they don't really mean it when they say go ahead and eat this stuff, or go ahead and, it's like no, they don't mean it, right? I'm not actually supposed to. So yeah, that was a Midwest moment from this past week / the rest of my life.
Recurring.
That's absolutely valid. All right. Well, thanks so much, everyone, for joining us. If you appreciate our goofy little podcast, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, leave us a review. If you're on Spotify, give us the 5 stars. It affects the algorithm, helps more people find this fun, goofy Christian content.
And thanks so much to Music Tom for the use of our theme song. Don't forget to check us out on social media. There's a Facebook page, Instagram, and a Twitter account.
All that good stuff. You ready for the mom joke of the week?
I guess so.
Let's hear it.
So, what's the best thing about living in Switzerland?
The cheese? I don't know.
I don't know, but the flag is a big plus.
All right, bye everybody. We'll see you next week.